From the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Alexi Ramirez and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Vladimir Guerrero and the Baltimore Orioles. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you Game 3 of this 4-game set. As you know, the Orioles have won the first two. They won the first game 10-4. It was just a bad game. Then yesterday in an ugly game, they won it 6-2. So trying to break and get on the right side of things this afternoon with Gavin Floyd.
Couldn't have a better man going to the mound than Gavin Floyd for a couple of different reasons. Number one, last time out against the Yankees, he was absolutely brilliant. Number two, lifetime against the Orioles, he's 3-1 with a pretty good ERA in the twos. April is gone. That's the good news. 18 losses in April was a club record. Hopefully May will be a whole lot better because we've got to start turning it on. And on the other side of the field, Zach Britton, a youngster, going to the mound with a 4-1 record and an ERA in the twos. He's got a good sinker. He throws probably in the low 90s. We haven't seen him before. Normally, that's a recipe for defeat. Today, it's a warm day. It looks to me like the offense is going to come back to play, and hopefully we can end what was a terrible, terrible month.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. 75 years being right here in Illinois means no one's closer to your wellness. Experience wellness everywhere. Subway. Every day at Subway, choose from many delicious regular foot-long subs for just $5. Subway. Eat fresh. Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today or go to shophonda.com and find great values on a new Honda. AT&T Uverse. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by United. Proud to fly the Chicago White Sox.
Replays on Xfinity on demand only from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. It's a bright, beautiful day in Chicago as the Sox try to win their first game of the series against Baltimore. And here's how Buck Showalter is going to line them up. Brian Roberts, who's been red hot, leading off, and it's Markakis and Lee. In the middle, Guerrero, Scott, and Wieters. And the bottom third, Reynolds, PA, and Andino. The defense and how they'll line up behind Gavin Floyd, left to right, Pierre Rios and Lillbridge getting a start in right field with Morel, Ramirez, Beckham, and Canerco. Ramon Castro gets a nod behind the plate. And the Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Gavin Floyd, looking for win number 4. Some pretty impressive numbers, and last time out against the Yankees, he was tough. So we're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the third of this 4-game set as Brian Roberts gets set, and the time now for the first pitch of the ball game. And that's ripped into right field for a base hit. So Roberts now 4 for 9 in this series. Orioles come in hitting at .234 as a club, with a 4.47 team ERA.
Roberts has not been stealing quite as much as he was before, but he's always a threat, and he's very good at it.
That'll bring up the right fielder Nick Markakis, hitting at .204. A couple of homers, he's driven in 6. And that's lined into left field. And Juan Pierre makes the catch. That's a hang with him for Markakis. Right, Juan stopped and then dove forward. Meanwhile, 1 out.
Sinking line drive with Ed Hickox on the call. Pierre comes in. We'll take another look at it. Two pitches, 1 out, and a man at first.
2 pitches and 2 shots.
And 2 shots is right.
Derek Lee hitting at .237. A homer, he's driven in 4.
And the question will be, as it always is for Gavin, when will that curveball come to him? If it comes to him early, he's going to have a very good day.
Well, that's about 70% of the pitches he threw against the Yankees were curveballs. That's out of play right side, and the count 1-1. And here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straight away center. Lee 1 for 8 in the series.
That's a balk.
Yeah, Roberts. That's the move he used a few years ago when he stole a lot of bases, and it's a two-way move. First of all, you can get a great jump if you're going to go. Next of all, you're able to distract the pitcher, as he just did.
That's exactly what happened. As Roberts takes a couple of quick steps, and Gavin, noticing it, but didn't step off the mound in time. So for Floyd, it's his first balk and the team's first balk of the year.
There he goes.
Gavin has got to look back a couple of times. That's one of the things that he was getting better at. Roberts now 3 for 3 in stolen bases, and you just have to give him a couple of looks. That one look isn't going to get it against a good base stealer.
So 2-1 to count with the Sox infield coming in. And that's popped up. And that's going to be, get back here. No, it won't.
It was dropped right on Buck Showalter's head. I don't think he ever saw it, and if he did, he has tremendous judgment by it because it missed him by about 1.5 feet. Take another look at it. You see Buck ambling his way down. That ball coming very close to dropping right on the back of his head.
Outfield straight up. And the 2-2 pitch. That's fired off the facing of the LG Skyline Club seats. Take a little something off a curveball down and away right here. Gavin?
That's the pitch that usually gets Lee coming back from surgery on his thumb. Says he's just now starting to feel like it's a regular season for him.
He gone. Gas.
Good fastball in a perfect spot. Catches the outside corner at the knees. Corey Blazer rings him up, and Derek Lee probably still looking for the breaking ball. Gavin made just a perfect fastball pitch.
So here's Vladimir hitting at .269, 4 homers. He's driven in 13. Vladimir 1 for 9 in this series, and lifetime against Gavin 4 for 21. Takes that pitch up high.
Gavin so far does not have the good breaking ball. Doesn't mean he can't work his way through it. He added a cutter, and he can make it a little bit bigger for a slider. Gives him another weapon when that curveball isn't there.
Alexei, and that'll do it. He pitches over it. After half inning play, it's the Orioles nothing, and the good guys coming to bat.
Pierre leading off, then it's Ramirez and Quentin. Paul Konerko in the middle with Rios, Castro, Brent Lillibridge, Gordon Beckham, and Brett Morrell playing third, hitting 9. The defense and how they'll line up behind Zach Britton, left to right, Scott, P.A., and Markakis. In the infield, Reynolds and Dino, who's had a great series, along with Robertson Lee. Matt Wieters back behind the plate, and Zach Britton at 4-1 on the hill. He is our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher, and you look at some very impressive numbers. The right-handers, because of his changeup and his good sinker, have had less success than the left-handers against the very young lefty.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours.
And you might ask why Britton would talk to Derek Lee before the game started. It's how to defense the bunt if Pierre bunts it up the right side.
Usually that's done before the game starts.
Yep.
Meanwhile, ball 1 to Pierre. One hitting at .243, 1 for 8 in this series. And the count 2-0 from the 23-year-old southpaw out of Weatherford, Texas.
He can get it up there to 95 and occasionally touch 96, but he pitches comfortably in the low 90s.
And the count 3-0. Don't help him out. Sox come in hitting at 240 with a 4.48 ERA. That's 4 in a row. Not a good start. The dreaded leadoff walk.
Look at the umpires for the game today. Corey Blazer behind the plate. Ed Rapuano, the crew chief, is at first with Alfonso Marquez at second, and Ed Hickox, the third base umpire. So a nice start to the first inning.
And here's Alexei. 4 for 8 in the series. Comes in hitting at 265 with 3 homers and 10 knocked in. Takes first pitch strike.
Britton came out of the Orioles organization. 3rd round draft pick in 2006. 6'3", 195. And another young pitcher, just 23 years old.
Good movement on that fastball. And the count very quickly, 0-2.
When Britton is right, he's going to throw a lot of ground balls, and so the infield defense behind him has to be pretty good because he's got good sink on his fastball.
And he just gets a piece of that one. So the count hangs at 0-2. No score here in the bottom of the first if you're just tuning in.
And look at Buck Showalter. His bench coach is Willie Randolph. Mark Connor is his pitching coach.
And that's down low.
And Ozzie back from his 2-game suspension. And very happy to be seeing it live and not on television. So that was a little frustrating for him.
That's in the center field, right at Felix P.A. So 1 out. And right now with 1 out, let's check out our picks to click. Jumanjo. Directing the crew, well, they went with Juan Pierre. Stone Ponies going with Ramon Castro. And Don Esposito, Mike Spadali, Shaw Booker, Matt Nykiel, Tracy Mobley, Jure McGee, and Leo Brady and I, we're going to go with Alexei. All our support services people. Here's Quentin. 1 for 7 in the series.
We haven't seen Britton's good move to first. That's probably the way he wants it. That time he held the baseball. Juan couldn't get a good read on it and eventually started heading back toward the bag as Britton delivered the ball.
And that one is chopped foul. So the count 1-1. Another action around baseball. Bottom of the 4th in Cleveland. Tigers and the Indians are tied at 2. Toronto leading New York 2-1 4th inning up in the Bronx. Bottom of the 3rd at Fenway. No score as they host the Mariners. Tampa Bay leading the Angels 5-1. That's after an inning and a half down in Florida. Not a good swing and the count 1-2.
No, that was a terrific sinker and it was 92. That's the kind of movement this young man gets. Take another look at it. Ball drops well out of the zone.
Ball hit hard but foul. Beautiful day here in the beautiful city.
Bright sunshine, 66 degrees. The wind wafting out ever so slightly.
And that's another foul ball.
Well, make the young man work this inning. It'll pay dividends later. In 5 starts, he's averaged 6 innings per start, which for a 23-year-old in his rookie year is not all that bad.
Juan having trouble getting a good read on him. And another chop foul. Gap out there in right center as PA over towards Luke Scott and left. Orioles, if you just tuning in, did not hear. They won the first 2, 10-4 and 6-2 yesterday. And that's popped up right side. So 2 down. And that'll bring up Pauly. Pauly hitting at 286, 6 homers. He's driven in 19. Pauly looking for his first hit of the series. He's 0 for 6. And if you didn't see the first 2 games, Orioles in game 1 scored 5 runs in the 7th inning. Then yesterday they scored 4 runs in the 8th inning. So a lot of late inning runs being scored against our bullpen.
At least in this series, we've been fairly generous with the defensive aspect of the game, something that I know Ozzie and Joey Cora would love to tighten up.
Pauly fouling that one back.
And you see a lot of foul tips and foul balls just trickling by the catcher. You know that that pitcher on that particular given day has pretty good movement.
And that's low. Guys with those outstanding sinkers have a tendency to stay around a long time.
Especially if you have good control and are able to add a good slider to go with it.
Thought he could not check it up. And the count 1-2.
Ed Rapuano said yes indeed, he did go.
He did.
Another sinking fastball out of the zone. Pauly went way too far that time.
Yeah, let's see what one wants to do right here. Ozzie's going to. And there's a base hit. So 2 out, 2 on, and that'll bring up Alex Rios.
Well, Pauly, who had hit 400 in the first inning coming into action today, is going to improve upon that. He just reaches out, drives that ball by Andino. And still a chance to get on top early with Rios, who drove in a couple last night.
So here's Rios. And here's what he did last night in the 9th inning. Well, he just killed it. His first homer of the season. You got to make him get it up. And that's down.
That was one of the first sliders that he threw. And that missed low and in.
Ball hit hard, but and they know it's short over to Roberts, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across after 1 no score.
Get one of the old greats, Minnie Minoso. 60 years ago today, made his White Sox debut, broke the team color line. And Minnie still gets a great deal of pleasure out of coming to the ballpark, and we see him all the time.
Luke Scott will lead it off here in the top of the 2nd. Scott comes in hitting at .246, 4 homers. He's driven in 8. Hit that 4th homer in game 1 against Johnny Danks. And he has faced Floyd 14 times, has 3 hits, and 1 of them left the park. Takes a curveball strike.
That's a good sign, Gavin, that getting that breaking ball over to the left-hand hitters. He's going to face 5 lefties in the lineup today. Weeder's a switch hitter.
Pulled a string on him right there. Change up, had him out in front, and the count 1-2.
Good changeup in a good location. It's out away. Scott couldn't do anything with it.
Outfield spread out for the most part straight up. Tried to backdoor him, and it goes around the plate. And the 2-2 delivery.
We'll take a look at it. That ball hooked around the plate again, just missed off the outside corner.
High into right field. Lillbridge. One down. And that'll bring up the switch hitting catcher, Matt Wieters. Just 24 years old. Game 1 was 2 for 5 with a 2-run homer. And also a 2-run double.
Wieters has all of his power and much of his batting prowess from the left side. That's how he's looking out Gavin Floyd.
Outfield, for the most part, straight up, spread out. Our outfield does not move around a lot. There's a strike. And the count evens.
That was a good cutter in on the hands of Wieters. Take a look at the movement. Although Castro wants it away, this ball moves inside to him.
Close pitch, did not get it.
There's our Bank of America pitch tracks. That ball looked like it had the outside of the outside corner.
And that has popped up. Alex. 2 down. Finale of this 4-game set. Tomorrow night, Mark Burley against Jeremy Guthrie. And then Tuesday evening and Wednesday afternoon, a 2-game set with the Minnesota Twins. We're taking on the Royals in Kansas City, and as we speak, after 2.5 innings, it is 1-0 Royals.
Ball comes to the mound to talk with Gavin Floyd. Outfield playing Reynolds absolutely straight up. Gordon Beckham's playing him up the middle. And in the infield, Ramirez probably a step to pull.
Reynolds 1 for 7 in the series. Comes in hitting at 169 with 2 homers and 14 knocked in.
Saw another good straight change from Gavin Floyd on the last pitch and had him well out in front.
Reynolds last year with the D-backs hit 198, 32 homers, and knocked in 85. Out and around on that little cutter. And a nice inning for Gavin. 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Scoreless.
who is the only player with 40-plus career wins with both the White Sox and the Orioles? We'll get back to you a little later with the answer while you at home ponder that.
No score, bottom of the second inning. It'll be Castro, Lillbridge, and Beckham to face young Zach Britton. 23-year-old Texan. As a hitter, you got to say to yourself, make him get it up. That way you gear down. And if it starts down, you lay off of it. And a count 2-0.
From a pitching standpoint, eventually you're going to have to get something over besides that sinker.
There's the strike.
Wieters does not catch last night because Doug Showalter wanted him to handle his young left-hander here today.
And that is in and out of the LG Skyline Club seats.
There's a look at Buck. He's done a very good job with his ball club since taking it over toward the end of last season.
Full count. And that is popped up right side, and it's going to stay in here for Derek Lee. So 1 out. And a reminder, organize a group outing of 20 or more during the season. You can purchase a block of tickets or enhance your outing with one of 6 great party areas. So call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. So here's Lillibridge. 1 for 4 in this series with a homer.
He's another guy who can bunt, but he's been making solid contact mostly this year.
First pitch strike. A homer coming in game 1. One and 1 to count. Good, and a bit of a herky-jerky motion. Tries to bunt it.
Good idea. The execution wasn't there because he had Reynolds back a couple of steps at third. Britton was not supposed to make his team out of spring training. When Brian Mattis got hurt, Britton has gotten his opportunity. And already a winner of 4 games.
And the 2-2. 2 down. First strikeout for Britton.
You very rarely get this pitch on the inside corner. As you see it right there, it's a little bit off the inside. You'll get that away. Usually not inside with the umpire in the slot between the catcher and the hitter.
So here's Beckham. He's struggling. 194. Couple homers. There's a base hit. Attaboy, Gordon. Now 2 for 8 in the series. And Brent Morrell, who's been struggling. Brent at 203, no homers. He's driven in 7. He did not play in the first 2 games. Mark Tien was at third. Take strike one. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for their guys. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for our guys. That evens the count at 1 with Juan Pierre on deck.
Outfield is swung around toward right center field. And Scott way off the line in left. He's in left center.
And that's in the hole. Can they get him at first? A nice pick by Derek Lee on a terrific play by Robert Andino, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the third. Not out.
As you see Gabe Karimi throwing out the first pitch today. Now, critiquing your form, you look like a very good lineman, Gabe. And congratulations to you. It's I know it's got to be a thrill. This is the #1 draft choice of the Bears this year, and could you envision yourself playing for the Bears?
I definitely see myself now, growing up, maybe not living in Wisconsin, but, this is the perfect fit for me, and I'm so excited to be a Bear.
You also won the Outland Trophy. It was a great year for you. And how is that Big Ten on a game-to-game basis when you're going against established running games and just guys that just like to pound the football?
I mean, it's a great, conference to grow up in. I went against 4 first-round draft picks this year, so, the level of play is just unbelievable when you go to a Big Ten school.
Now, I know you're a tackle. Does it matter to you if it's right or left tackle or if they shift you to guard?
They're thinking of a tackle right now, and right or left, it doesn't matter to me. Just, looking forward to making an impact on this Bear team.
Well, certainly they can use you, and it's wonderful that you got to the Bears. This is a wonderful city. You'll see more of it. But I understand you're born and raised in Madison, Wisconsin, so you played right in your own neighborhood.
I was definitely raised in Madison, Wisconsin, but I was born in Lake Forest, Illinois, so I was actually born right near the facility.
Well, that's terrific. Anyway, it's good to see you. Congratulations to you, and we're looking for big things.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. Bye, Gabe.
No score, top of the 3rd inning, and I got to tell you, this guy is big. Take care, big guy. All right. Andino, after Felix Pierre led off with a base hit right back through the middle. Here's the bunt. Brent has got him. Gabe Morrell is the visiting clubhouse attendant.
Yes. This Gabe is a little bigger, though.
He is huge. Huge.
Well, as good a series as Andino has had, that shows you how Buck Showalter envisions this game going. If he's playing for 1 run this early, especially with a guy that's been as hot as Andino.
Well, not all, but most managers want to get on that board first. And I guess the graphic example of that in the past 50 years was, God rest his soul, was Gene Mock. That ball hit hard. Jay is going to tag, and he'll mosey on into third. So Roberts, who singles sharply into right field, he's swinging that bat, but there's 2 outs.
It's about as hard as I've seen Brian Roberts swing the bat consistently, and all the times that we've played against him, he must be feeling 100%. Injuries have been one of the few things that have stopped him, but he's hitting every ball right on the sweet spot.
Well, it's tough enough to hit major league pitching when you're 100%. You got something, especially I've never had any back problems when I played, but I played with a lot of guys that did, and I'll tell you, they just couldn't swing the bat.
No, it's really difficult, and then you wind up, Hawk, altering your swing somehow, and then that's the worst thing you can do.
Well, first of all, you can't swing. You got a feel for it. As here is Markakis. He lined out, a good catch by Juan Pierre.
You got to pitch.
That's one reason Paulie has done such a great job since he's been in the White Sox uniform, because he had a bone bruise in his right hand for a couple of seasons and played through it, which is very, very difficult to do.
I'd be very careful with Markakis, who hit the ball very well last time. You've got Derek Lee in the on-deck circle, who is not swinging the bat well now.
Two and one. Outfield just slightly to the right. And they are being careful. And he calls it a strike. So a full count.
It's number 5. You see where it is there. The outside part of the ball caught the outside part of the plate.
Now let's see what they want to do on 3-2. He gone. Hook. Good curveball, and that'll retire the side. After 2.5, still goose egg. Collision on Comcast Sportsnet as the Sox square off with their fiercest rivals. So tune in as the Twins pay a visit to U.S. Cellular Field. Don't miss White Sox Twins Tuesday night at 7 right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. So the 2 preseason division favorites are not faring too well through the month of April.
No, but fortunately, you have 6 of those months. The first one didn't start out real well. We've had poor starts before. And it's not going to take 90 wins to win this division, I don't believe, this year.
Well, I remember back in 1983, we started off 14-26. Came back and won 99 games and won the division by 20. So here's Pierre. He walked. Takes first pitch strike. Corners in close. Reynolds on the grass. Totals on the board identical if you're just tuning in. 0-2-0. That's off the plate. 2-1. A beautiful day here in the beautiful city.
That ball was fouled off Matt Wieters, and Corey Blazer, the umpire, strolls out to give Zach Britton the baseball, but he's really giving Wieters a chance to shake off the effects of that one.
Well, Matt, I'm sure, is already used to it, but he better get used to it because he's a big man.
He is that, and he's going to take a lot of those before it's over.
Those big ones catch a bunch. And there's a line drive base hit. That a boy, Juan. So once again, the leadoff man aboard.
That fastball was out over the plate. Juan Pierre just dumps it over Andino's head.
And here's Ramirez. Alexei went out to center field. And Juan has a good lead. Takes the bunt, takes the strike. Bottom of the 6th inning at Progressive Field. Tigers and the Indians are still tied at 2.
Indians won in extra innings last night, 3-2.
Well,
that one went 13 innings.
That's it. It's not who you play, it's when you play them.
Right now, you don't want to hook up with the Tribe because they're not losing too much.
That's right. And right now, we got everybody in baseball love to be playing us. 18-8. Now, that pitch foul back. 18-8 to Tribe. Kansas City 14-13, Detroit 12-15, we're 10-18, and Minnesota 9-17.
Hasn't been the best of divisions so far if your name is not the Cleveland Indians.
Top of the 4th in Kansas City, 1-0 Royals over Minnesota. It should be. Round the horn, rack them up, 2 down.
We heard coming in how the arm of Reynolds was. It's a little inconsistent. We haven't seen it in this series. That's a perfect throw to Roberts, who takes one step toward the infield, making sure that Pierre can't break it up. And they turn the 5-4-3 double play and turn it easily.
Here's Quentin. He popped up to Roberts. Off the end of the bat, softly hit. And that'll do it. We're into the 4th. No score.
Fifth inning is brought to you by KFC. Feed 4 or more with the KFC 10-piece family feast. Just $20.
Derek Lee will lead it off here in the top of the fourth inning. It'll be Lee, Guerrero, and Scott to face our 6'6" right-hander as there's first pitch curveball strike. Lee called out on a fastball his first at bat.
Gavin's starting to have that curveball come to it.
And the count 0-2.
He'd just as soon not leave it there if he had a choice. But with Lee not swinging the bat as well as he's going to, you get away with that one.
Just off the corner. He gone. Hook.
Gavin goes back to the curveball. This one just disappears low and away. And when he has this going for him, left or right-handed, doesn't matter very much. You're not going to hit it.
That curveball strike to Vladimir. He grounded out softly to Alexei. Not too many right-handers got a better curveball than Gavin Floyd when he stays back.
Now he gets tight rotation. Usually throws it in a pretty good spot. It's just a question during any outing of when it's going to come to him, and it has arrived.
2-1. Beckham, 2 down. Well, there have been some right-handers in this league who got by primarily on the curveball. Angels had a big 6'6" right-hander named Mike Witt.
I remember Mike Witt.
And a lot of people were getting on Bob Boone as catcher for calling so many breaking balls when he was out on the bump, but all he did was win with them. There's another right-hander that primarily threw curveballs, and he's sitting about 8 feet from me.
Well, those were the days when if you got the ball near the plate, I had a good enough team where they caught them all. All the mistakes were caught, or most of them.
And you had some umpires that would call it curveball.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's essential. And I used to talk to him about, do you want it up and break it at the waist? Do you want it down and break it at the shoot tops? Because one of them has to be a strike. You have to give me one of those. I said, keep it up higher, because if you throw it in the dirt, I can't call it.
That curveball hit deep. Stay in here. Nope. And it is 1-0 Baltimore.
So we told you about the strength of Scott, and that's 5 and 9 on the power numbers. A forward home run replay. That curveball just rolled over the middle of the plate, and Scott got most of it.
Matt Waiters fouls that one off left side. He's 0 for 1. He popped up to short center field. Yeah, Scott didn't even come close to getting all that one. He just muscled it out of here.
Gavin's now given up 6 home runs in less than 40 innings of work.
And the count 1-2. The 24-year-old switch hitting catcher. Two and two. Fans, this is your chance to win an A.J. Pierzynski autographed jersey. Simply log on to your computer and take a quick survey. Answers are confidential, so visit whitesox.com/survey. And you must complete the survey before today's game ends. Orioles had another 20-game winner with the primary pitch being a curveball. He threw it probably, compared to fastball strikes to curveball strikes, probably 95.5.
Pat Dobson? Yes, sir. One of the 4 20-game winners, at least 20-game winners in 1971 of that Orioles staff. That was after most of the teams went to a 5-man rotation, a la the '69 Mets. Not Baltimore, not for a while.
Change up, he gone. But the home run by Luke Scott will go to the bottom of the 4th, trailing 1-0.
With the answer, who's the only player with 40-plus career wins with both the White Sox and the Orioles.
Well, he's sitting about 8 feet from me.
And the answer, Hoyt. It was Hoyt. I came a little short, but I didn't get to the 40 mark with the White Sox.
I thought that was you.
Nope.
Tilt was his nickname. I got 1 hit off him in 6 years.
The good knuckleball. You can't. I mean,
greatest knuckleball ever.
You can't prepare for it. There's no way to get used to swinging at it. And if the pitcher and catcher don't know which way it's going to go, the hitter can't possibly know which way it's going to go.
Well, the only way we scored on him was somebody would either reach on an error or get hit with a pitch or walk occasionally. And then there'd be 2 or 3 pass balls and we'd score.
That was it.
He had 2 kinds of knuckleballs. He had the one to get strikes, get ahead of you, and then the put away knuckleball that broke from your tip of your toes to the tip of your toes. Nose, toes. Paulie fouls it away. Paulie 1 for 1. A sharp single in the left field back in the 1st inning. One and 1 to count to Paulie. And that's foul. And keep an eye out for Dog Day presented by Hills Pet Nutrition. That's Tuesday, May 17th. Sox versus the Rangers at 7:10 p.m. Visit hillspet.com for more information. And the count 2-2.
About ready to make pitch number 52.
Good eye. Full count. Ball hit high, stretch. Nope. Luke Scott right now on the track. He just missed it.
It's good at bat by Paulie because it's getting harder and harder to hit the ball in the air against Britton. That was a fastball out away from Paul. Caught it more toward the end of the bat than he would have liked, leaving Luke Scott with a couple of steps to spare.
So here's Rios. Alex hit the ball hard into a 6-4 fielder's choice to end the first inning. Takes it up and takes strike one. That's low and away. And that's high pop up. So 2 out, and that'll bring up Ramon Castro. And that's out of play right side. As I mentioned, we have Burley against Guthrie tomorrow night. Then Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to run Edwin Jackson and Johnny Danks out there. They're going to run Francisco Liriano and Nick Blackburn. The Twins are. That's on the track. And a 1-2-3 inning for Britton. could win 5 $5 foot-long subs from Subway. 1-0 Orioles here in the top of the 5th inning. 1-3-0 for their guys. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for our guys. It'll be the lower third of the Oriole order. Reynolds, PA, and Robert Andino.
And you'd love to see this inning end without Roberts coming to bat, because he's had 2 very good at bats against Gavin. He's due up 4th.
Good pitch, didn't get it. That's a strike. That ball hit hard. And it is 2-0.
Third home run of the year for Reynolds. 15 runs batted in. He's not going to hit for a high average, but he has cut down his strikeouts by a full 10%. Our Ford home run replay is this ball is out over the plate. And Reynolds, with big power, takes an outside pitch and drives it out of the yard. It's now a 2-run deficit, both courtesy of solo homers.
A high straight change. Those high straight changes have a tendency to go a long way. But when you're not scoring any runs, okay. He ripped a single right back through the middle, leading off the 3rd inning.
With Showalter feeling that instead of Adam Jones against the Floyd curveball, he would use Felix BA.
The 1-2. And that ball hit deep to right field. And out of play. Kansas City leading Minnesota 2-1, bottom of the 5th in Missouri.
Lillbridge did a nice job of getting down before running out of room, and that ball went into the seats. It's a good effort, but when you see you're not going to get there, you'll always lose that battle to the grill and the wall.
Fastball high and wide, full count. Tampa Bay was leading the Angels 5-1. It is now 5-5. And another souvenir.
Good battle between PA and Floyd. Robert Andino, who's had such a good series. And he on deck, sir.
That ball hit hard into center field. Alex coasted back, didn't read that one well at all. Now here's PA on his way to third base. Here's a throw. He's safe. Misread on Alex's part right there. And there's a triple. Jay's first extra base hit.
He crushes this ball 400 feet away, but you see Alex takes the step in and then tries to coast after it. No chance.
Here's Robert Andino at a sacrifice bunt. Corners in close. Beckham. And Ramirez in a little more than halfway. Breaking ball low and away. And the count 2-0. Top of the 8th in Cleveland. Still a 2-2 tie with the Tigers. That's Koch against Masterson. Masterson 5-0 with a 2.18 ERA. Three and 0 the count. There's one.
Well, what you didn't want to see happen has happened, and that's Roberts come to bat with a couple of base runners on and a red hot bat.
He's 1 for 2 in the series. He is 4 for 10. Check that in the game. 4 for 10 in the series. But he's been hitting ropes. Ramon just turns around and says, "Where's that pitch?"
We'll take another look on Bank of America pitch tracks. Pretty close. And Dino stole the base last night in the 8th inning. The big 4-run 8th inning.
You got a hot stick at the plate, and he's got the catbird seat. 2-0. Come on, Gavin, get him. Bristle up.
This is a very speedy threesome. At bat, at first and third, all with good to great speed.
And the count's 3-0.
We're most likely going to see a trip from Don Cooper if Gavin does not get Roberts.
There's one. Gavin in a whole bunch of trouble here in the top of the 5th inning.
Took a little something off that one and had Roberts well out in front of it. With no outs here in the 5th, that is a very high pitch total.
So a full count. And that is just foul.
Andino was not running. Roberts has grounded into only one double play this year. That coming from the right side.
And once again the 3-2.
And here does indeed come Don Cooper. Let's take a look at the last at bat where he went after Markakis with a runner at third, first base open, and didn't really care if he walked him or not. He misses up high and gets the strike. Up high again. Now he's in a hole. He throws a changeup, and the curveball is right over the inside corner. Good pitch sequence, especially when you don't care if you walk a guy or not, because Lee was in the on-deck circle, and now he's fanned twice. So Cooper goes out. Even Don Cooper is having a word with Corey Blazer, I believe, about the location of a pitch or two.
I don't blame it.
And Ramon is doing the same thing. He's lobbying for his pitcher.
First pitch he threw to Reynolds was a strike, a good strike.
Yep.
Whole ball had the plate. He called it. Now all of a sudden, instead of being 0-1, he's 1-0, and a big difference in the thought process of the hitter. So here's Markakis. He is lined hard to left field. Pierre made a terrific catch, and he struck out. That ball is in the gap, and nobody's going to get it. So that's going to clear him. And it's a 5-0 lead. Still nobody out.
3 driven in, giving Markakis 9 for the year. That one right over the middle of the plate. Markakis slices it away from Rios. And with superior speed on the bases, Roberts scores all the way from first.
5 runs on 6 hits. Big innings, and our club has given up. First game gave up 5 in the 7th. Yesterday, 4 in the 8th. We lost that game 6-2. Outfield straight up, spread out. The 2 walks this inning, the only 2 walks he's issued, they've crossed the plate. And the 2-2. There was a good curveball to hit right there.
Gavin hung one on the inner portion, and Lee got around a little too quickly. That's the one when you're going well, you hammer this ball. If you're not going well, you ground to foul.
One out.
He set him up with a curveball and put him away with a fastball. Good call, good pitch, good result.
So here's Guerrero. He's grounded to short and he's grounded to second. Curveball high in the center field. Two down. And here's Luke Scott. He's 1 for 2. He homered last inning. That's off the plate. "32-year-old veteran."
This has been a very difficult inning for Gavin Floyd, about ready to deliver his 33rd pitch.
And there's a base hit. So it's 6-0.
Got his 10th driven in, his second today.
Well, they bat around here in the top of the 5th as Weeder stands in. He has popped to center field and struck out. Count evens at 1. For the man out of Georgia Tech. Off the end of the bat. And they just do get him. But a big crooked number goes up on the board. It is 6-0 Baltimore.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it's the last out of the inning as Alexei charged the ball. But with Wieters going up the line, he had time for a little bobble. Still got it there. About a half step ahead of Wieters at the end of the inning.
All right, guys, let's do something. Let's do something. We trail it 6-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. We only have 3 hits off this 23-year-old southpaw, Zach Britton, as Lillibridge takes strike 1. He was called out on strikes his first trip. Beckham on deck, and Morel in the hole. And the count 0-2. Detroit leading Cleveland 3-2. That game in the bottom of the 8th at Progressive Field. Kansas City leading Minnesota 5-2, top of the 6th at Kauffman Stadium. That ball here way back. Scott looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Yes.
Third home run, 4th driven in by Lillibridge, who's getting an opportunity to start again, and once again making the most of it. Our Ford home run replay. Looked like a changeup, down and out over the plate, and gone.
So here's Beckham. Tries to bunt it, and it's foul. And of course, with that home run by Lillibridge, the Alex Nelius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 26, so $2,600 donated by Alex Nelius in loving memory of Ursula. That's a start. This is peck away. That's can of corn for Markakis.
And here is the look. And we're going to slow it way down for you as Andino on one end, Derek Lee on the other end, combined to rob Morel of a base hit. Great pick by Lee. They get Morel by a half step.
Yeah, we got 2 of the best first basemen in the game in this ballpark today at making picks like that. That was a tough pick.
Talking with Buck Showalter, who was talking about Derek Lee, said, I know he's not doing anything offensively, but he saved our infield, in his estimation, 12 errors so far.
And that's going foul. 0-2 the count, Brent. First rule in baseball is catch the ball.
And it really helps if you've got some inconsistent arms in your infield to have a guy that can pick the ball out of the dirt.
Ball hit hard. Look at the pick right there by Reynolds.
Brent has hit the ball hard twice and 0 for 2 to show for it.
Well, that's symptomatic with the club being in a funk. It's that simple. I mean, that's the way it goes.
Reynolds had some tough years defensively in the desert in Arizona, but in this series, he's been able to pick everything.
One and 0. Well, if you're getting it, questions the same way I am. What's wrong, Hawk? What's wrong with the club? There are no definitive answers. There are definitive reasons, and if you want to go with the reasons, it's very simple. All the categories in baseball. offense, you got defense, you got base running, you got starting pitching, you got a bullpen. In those categories, there's only one category we've been good in, and that's starting pitching. The rest of them we have been bad in.
That's going to lead to an all-time record 18 losses in April.
As that's ball 4. And the follow-up response or an answer like that, sometimes they say, well, when are they going to come out of it? Well, all the fans out there, your guess is as good as ours. If there were definitive answers, it would be easy. There are none.
Otherwise, the slumps wouldn't last as long, either from a team or an individual standpoint. Now Wieters goes out, wants to talk with Britton, who has walked Pierre for the second time, keeping this 5th inning alive. Reminding him to throw strikes. You've got a 5-run lead.
Out and around that, Alexei is 0 for 2. He's gone out to center and hit into a 5-4-3 double play. Late call by Blazer. Like a pretty good pitch.
Inside part of the inside corner. You'll see the 3 pop up on pitch tracks.
Nice pick by Wieters. In this game, you make your own breaks, whether they be good or bad. I love this game. It's awesome. Abner is either the smartest guy in the world or the biggest masochist in the world.
Well, on the surface, what looks like a simplistic game truly is infinitely complex. The good thing about the game is there's very little that's black and white. There's a lot of shades of gray and a lot of subtleties that come with it.
It's a game of nuances.
And when you're not playing well and every aspect of your game is suffering, it feels like you're never going to come out of it. Then all of a sudden you have a couple of games where everything is clicking and the team starts to believe in themselves, and then you never feel like you're going to lose. And we are waiting for that streak to happen.
Reynolds. And that'll do it. But the leadoff homer by Lillbridge will go to the 6th inning trailing 6-1. 6-7-0 for the Orioles, 1-4-0 for our Sox. And it'll be Reynolds, PA, and then Dino. Started off last inning with a home run. Takes a curveball strike. And we'll have a moment. We'll send a big happy birthday tomorrow to our producer, Mike Leary. And his beautiful wife, Nicole. I'm sure Mike won't be here with us tomorrow. We'll have a nice dinner someplace. And that is into short center field.
Follow all of today's stats and info in real time with White Sox In-Game Live only on CSNChicago.com. Brought to you by The Great Escape.
You know, in this slump that we've been in, this funk, you know, you're a good athlete. You've played a lot of things. I played basketball, I played football, played golf, played baseball. The two toughest things in my sporting career that I have ever experienced is PA can't get it. First of all, fighting somebody that you can't hit. They're just too fast for you. Well, that's a bad feeling. I'm going to tell you that. I've been there and done that.
That fight doesn't last long. But no. Okay.
And the next thing is, when you're going bad in baseball, trying to win a Major League Baseball game, it is absolutely tough.
Well, you're waiting for at least a couple of facets of your game to come around. And right now, we are waiting for the offense to support some of the better starting pitching we've had. Gavin hasn't been great today, but now he's got to eat up some innings.
And that's out number 2. So PA, who had singled sharply back to the middle and then triple last inning and scored, he's 2 for 3. Yeah, for all of you out there who have played baseball, and most of you have, or else you wouldn't be a baseball fan, you know how difficult it is to win a game when you're going bad. And Dino has sacrificed bunt, a walk, and a run scored. And that's out of play.
Well, Detroit had taken a 3-2 lead over the Indians, only to see them come back to, at the very worst, tie it at 3.
Well, they expect to win every game when they go out on the field. And Kansas City now leading Minnesota 7-2. Minnesota is in the same frame of mind, evidently, as our club.
Well, we're both 3-7 in our last 10. We both find ourselves 9 games in back of the streaking Cleveland Indians, and we both find ourselves rooting for the Tigers today.
Not me.
This is when Tigers lose?
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. I think Detroit is going to win. I think the whole thing, as we talked about, I think at the end, you come September, I think it's going to be the White Sox, Twins, and Tigers fighting it out. Morel. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th, trailing by 5.
upcoming schedule. It's another game with these Orioles tomorrow night. Then Minnesota comes to town for a night and day affair before we hit the road again on the 5th. Then it's off to Seattle for 3, Anaheim for 3. Another off day, and we take on the A's for 3. Well, things don't get any easier as we've got 3 three-city road trips before the All-Star break, and we just have to stay afloat.
Quentin will lead it off. He has popped to second and grounded softly to third. Takes first pitch strike. And there's a nice pick by Reynolds. And that's out number 1. Got a bowling book bounce right there. It stays down. It's going to be a tough play. It comes up. It's going to be fairly easy.
Here's Home Depot doing more on defense. And we'll take a look at the guy that came in with a bit of a suspect glove, but we haven't seen it in this series. He's made 4 errors this year, but in the 3 games so far, he's been outstanding at third.
So here's Paulie. Paulie singled sharply. His first at bat. Then leading off the 4th inning, he just missed hitting one out of here. Takes ball 1.
Sox bullpen up and going.
To the count. The ball.
Jesse Crane listening in the pen.
There's a base hit. That boy Paulie. So the 1-out single. And that'll bring up Rios. Takes ball 1. Alex is hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice. Hit that ball hard. And last time popped up to left field. Could not check it up. And the count evens at 1. The Angels were trailing 5-1. It is now 6-5 Tampa Bay. And that's low.
Well, you get the feeling that the young man is going to start to tire. He's averaged 6 innings per start. He's right in that neighborhood, about ready to deliver pitch number 87. No activity whatsoever in the Oriole pen.
And it's a foul ball. Ed Hickox making the call. Top of the 8th in the Bronx. The Yankees leading Toronto 5-2. Top of the ninth at Fenway, a 2-2 tie with the Seattle Mariners.
Seattle's on a 5-game winning streak on 7 of their last 10, so they've started to turn their season around. They're just 2 under 500.
And that's foul.
Jeff Cox was able to knock it down, but not fielded at third. Reminiscent of his playing days. He was a big leaguer, though. He got here.
That's fair. And they can't turn it. Gave him a bad feed right there.
And Roberts really couldn't get anything into the return throw. So we get a break because this inning stays alive. Should have been 2. It did pull Roberts to the outfield side of the second base bag. You see how far he had to go, and you just can't plant the foot and get anything on the throw, so the inning stays alive.
So make him pay right here, Ramon. Castro is fouled out to first and going out deep to right. Takes low ball 1. And the count 2-0. Lillbridge on deck. Don't help him out. 3-0. There's one. Now square him up right here.
Ramon's got big power. Just missed hitting one out of the ballpark to end the 4th inning.
And that's ball 4. Third walk issued by Britton.
Looks like Mark Connor is going out there.
And a reminder, the Aussie plan includes your choice of 13 games, including the BP Crosstown Cup Series against the Cubs and matchups against the Twins, the Yankees, and Red Sox. So the Aussie plan is available right now.
Mark Connor was a longtime pitching coach for Buck Showalter wherever he went. He brought him back to Baltimore. Rick Adair, another longtime pitching coach, is the bullpen coach now for the Orioles. So they got pitching pretty well covered. And with as young a staff as they have, both in the pen and the rotation, it helps to have good pitching personnel for instruction. Birkin getting up once again. He's been up in each and every game.
So 2 on, 2 out. Here's Lillbridge. He has struck out, called out back in the second inning, then last inning leading off, cranked out his 3rd homer of the year. You missed that home run, poof.
Let this ball down out over the plate and hit it a long way.
Every swing of the bat, right back in it. Markakis, a long way to go. That ball slicing away from him, but he'll get there and make the catch. He is a good one. One of the better right fielders in all of baseball. And that'll do it. We're into the 7th, trailing by 5. Place to go for the best local sports news and highlights, and that's Sportsnet Central. Every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight, only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
And we've got a new pitcher in the ball game, and it is Jesse Crain. Crain, who's 0-1 this year, sporting a 1.50 ERA on for the 11th time. Gavin Floyd went 6 innings, charged with 6 runs on 7 hits. He walked a pair, he fanned 5. And now he puts it in the hands of the bullpen to hold him right there and let the offense come back and do something against Britton and the inevitable bullpen.
Well, coming back in the late innings to win a game is a state of mind. And that old adage, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right either way, certainly holds true. And lately we have not had that positive feeling about getting down and coming back. But we will.
And if you get that, if a team starts to feel that way, you do what the Cincinnati Reds did last year when they won 22 games in their last at bat.
Or what we did in 05.
You never feel you're out of it. Doesn't matter how many runs you're down. You have team confidence that you're going to make something happen, get a walk, get on base with an error, somebody hits a 3-run homer. You start wending your way back into the game.
Well, the secret to winning a lot of games in baseball is you got to win close ball games. In baseball, you're going to win 60, you're going to lose 60. What do you do to those other 42? And in 05, every time we got in a close ball game, we knew we were going to win it. A state of mind. 1-2 to Roberts, who is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. We have already been on the negative side of our 42 this year. We got to come back. Put some of those in the bank. He gone. Pull the string on it.
You're not used to seeing Jesse Crain do this a lot. It's a straight change. It's kind of settles down over the plate. When you're looking fastball or hook and you get one of these, it's usually what you do with it.
These fastballs can turn into changeups in a hurry up here. Markakis had a bases clearing double in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3. He was all over that one and underneath it. 1-1.
Well, offensively this year, it's been a tough time for Nick Markakis. But defensively, as we've seen in this series, he's a huge factor because he doesn't let anything fall.
He doesn't take his at-bats out with him to the outfield. That's the only way you can be a good defender. That's the only way. You cannot take that pop up, that ground out of that strikeout out in the field with you. Three and 1 to count. He just whistled that one right on by him. Bottom of the 7th in Kansas City. 7-3 Royals over the Twinkies. He gone.
You got the 3-1. And he just threw 2 fastballs right by Markakis.
So here's Derek. He's got the hat trick today. Called out on a fastball in the first inning. Struck out swinging on a curveball in the fourth. And called out on a fastball in the fifth. And the count 1-1. Three balls in the strike. They had a 6-5 Tampa Bay lead earlier. Now that they've taken it down, it's still tied at 5, bottom of the 7th.
Maybe they took a run away.
Down to Tropicana Field.
Derek got his 1 fastball to hit and fouled it straight back. He got a hit first time up in this series and has been hitless since then.
And that hit was a very soft little duck went out there in the right field. And that's fouled back.
Well, right now they're throwing in all locations, up and down. Try to take down Derek Lee.
He gone. Strikes out the side. 7th inning stretch. We need 5 to tie.
wound up in every game. This is the first one he's been in. The ERA 4.76. There you look at the numbers. 27-year-old right-hander. And here it's a 5-run lead.
And first pitch strike, Gordon Beckham. Birkin, who was born in Green Bay, now resides in Atlanta. And very quickly, Gordon is 0-2.
Birkin was up part of 09 and all of last year. 3.03 ERA out of the pen exclusively for the Orioles in 10.
And that is foul. Lee's got a shot at it. And no play, says Ed Rappawanna. So the count remains 0-2. 6 runs on 7 hits, no errors for their guys. 1 run on 5 hits, no errors for our guys. They had 1 in the 4th, 5 in the 5th. We scored 1 in the 5th. Home run by Lillbridge. The ball hit hard. Get down. It will. It gets by PA. So Gordon will pull into second with a 2-bagger. Yes. That's his 5th 2-bagger.
That ball was hit awfully hard, and Felix PA dove across and actually just missed it. It's a slider that hangs up in the zone. PA has the ball actually go over his glove. So he dove under it. Gordon needs all the hits he can get.
Say it again. Here's Morrell. He's hit the ball hard twice and come up empty. That's a fair ball, says Roy Blazer. No. So the count 0-1.
Cleveland did hang on to beat Detroit once again.
5-4. Manny Acta. Got those guys playing some ball. He's a ball coach.
Done a good job with that team. We knew they could hit. I mean, that we saw. And we knew when Sizemore came back, it would help their club. I don't think either of us dreamt that that pitching staff would come together as it has. Still only a month in the season, but they're throwing the ball exceptionally well.
Tacks it up. And the count evens at 2. Montpierre on deck. Oh, he got a cookie right there and couldn't do anything with it. Roberts. 1 out. Another high breaking ball from Berkey. So here's one. He's perfect on the afternoon. 2 walks and a base hit. Reynolds in on the grass at third. Outfield short. Swung around to the left. Lee halfway at first.
Britton went 6 innings, gave up a run on 5 hits. He walked 3 and fanned just 1.
Well, he's everything that Hall of Fame right-hander Jim Palmer, now broadcaster, longtime broadcaster of Baltimore, told us he was.
Kept the ball down, make it move.
That's it.
Not going to dazzle you with a whole lot of things, but he pounds the strike zone and stays around the plate.
And there is ball 4. So he remains perfect on the afternoon. And here comes Alexei, who is 0 for 3.
Showalter not going to be overly patient with Birkin, who warmed up each and every game, finally getting into this one and running into some problems here in the 7th.
Well, when you get a 5-run lead, Showalter wants hitters to have to hit the way on. No walks.
Nope. With 4 straight bad ones to 1, and this thing could get interesting very quickly with the heart of the order coming up.
Nice gap out there in right center. And that ball is down low.
Jim Johnson throwing in the pen.
And the count 2-0.
Marcotter coming out to spend a little time out there to allow Johnson to get loose. He just got up, and Birkin's having trouble with a shifting plate.
Well, they do. We'll check some other scores for you. Bottom of the 9th at Fenway, tied at 2 with Seattle. Bottom of the 8th in Washington. Nasty Nats leading the Giants 3-2. 5-5 tie St. Louis at Atlanta. That's in the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 7th down in Tampa Bay, still tied at 5. Houston shutting out Milwaukee 4-0. That's in the bottom of the 7th, down at the juice box. And there is 3-0 with Quentin on deck. Bottom of the 7th at Kansas City, 7-3 Royals over Minnesota. There's one.
Well, Lexi knows he's going to get a fastball. And he'd just as soon get it middle in.
Well, I was just getting ready to say that's one thing that Lexi has been a lot better on 2-0 crip counts. 2-0, 3-1. He's learned not to get out there too quick. On that one, he got out there too quick.
Way too quick. Very hittable. Showalter wants to know if Johnson is ready. I would say they probably answer in the affirmative.
Well, I've seen Earl Weaver, former Oriole manager, after that 3-1 fastball was hit that way, he'd go out and take him out.
It took me out after one of those long foul balls.
Yeah, seen him do it several times.
And not even question. In other words, before he ever got to the line, he would wave to the pen.
Once again, the payoff. And that's ball 4. That will load him up with only 1 out.
That's going to be it for Birkin. Showalter comes running out, points to the pen where Jim Johnson is still throwing. And now he'll come into the game. So as Johnson comes in and Birkin steps out, we will be back after these messages. Jim Johnson. He's 1-1, 3.86 ERA, on for the 11th time. We saw him in the opener of the series. He pitched the 7th inning, struck out 2. Here's our AT&T UVerse multi-view. And it shows you a Sox player on every base. And Carlos Quentin with a chance to get this one a whole lot closer.
He's 0 for 3. He's popped to second. And twice he has gone out to third. That's blown away. 27-year-old right-hander out of. He was born in Johnson City, New York. Now resides in Sarasota. Outfield well around to the right. Huge gap in left center. And that's 2-0. Now he's got the catbird seat.
With the bases loaded over the course of his career, Carlos Quentin has been very effective.
That's a souvenir right side. That's popped up right side. So another pop up by Quentin to Roberts, and that's out number 2. Come on, Paulie. Right man, right spot, right time, right place, right now. Paulie's 2 for 3. 2 solid singles to left, and the only out he made was he just missed hitting one out of here to left. Takes that pitch down low. Always the first pitch of the sequence in this situation is huge. Late call by Glazer. Glazer with that. That's what really tees the hitter off, is that late call.
Johnson's getting it up there 95, but Paul doesn't care about the speed. He just wants to get a straight one.
Here's a huge pitch in this at bat. The 1-1. And advantage goes to Paulie. Sacks packed with Sox, 2 down. Good speed aboard, and here's the 2-1. Outfielder deep, spread out. And another foul at the plate. Well, he 1 for 5 lifetime off Johnson. And one hit was a double. And a full count. Now, squeeze it. And that is ball 4. Beckham will cross home plate, and it's a 6-2 ball game at bringing the tying run and Alex Rios to the plate.
RBI number 20 for Paul Konerko. Very quiet number 20 on a walk, but very effective.
Alex 0 for 3. He's due. And there's a chopper down to Reynolds. And that will end the inning. Sox come up with 1. We trail by 4.
Thank you, our Chuck. Will Oman comes into the game. He'll take over for Jesse Crain, who took over for Gavin Floyd. Oman with no record, an 8.31 ERA, on for the 13th time. And that leads the staff in that department.
First pitch strike to Vladimir, who is 0 for 3. He's grounded to short, grounded to second, and popped up to center. 6-7-0 for the Orioles, 2-6-0 for our Sox. Bottom of the 8th in Kansas City, 10-3, Royals leading Minnesota. Just pokes that one into right field for a base hit. And a reminder, Join the Shy Sox mobile group by texting CLE for a chance to win $50 in Comiskey cash and 4 tickets to the game on May 19th versus Cleveland. Shy Sox mobile users get special offers, exclusive deals, contest info, and more. Message and data rates apply. Text CLE to Shy Sox. That's 244-769 to be entered to win. There's Scott. He's 2 for 3 with a homer and an RBI single. A 2-out RBI single. Takes it up, fouls it back. Top of the 9th in Cleveland. 5-3 Indians leading Detroit.
It's a final 5-4.
5-4 final. Boston over Seattle 3-2 at Fenway. That's off the plate, 1-1.
Big day for Scott, who seems to save his best for us.
Little high neck in, 2-1. And the count's 3-1.
Upfield straightaway, deep all over.
High into center. And that is out number 1. So here's Matt Wieters. 0 for 3 this afternoon, but now he will hit right-handed. First game he was 2 for 5 with a 2-run homer on the 3-0 fastball. And had a 2-run double.
Wieters a better hitter from the left side, probably has more power from the right side.
First pitch strike.
Had a former #1 draft choice. Now really taking over that position and becoming one of the team leaders.
One and one to count. Goes through that one. And finale of this 4-game set tomorrow night. Mark Burley against Jeremy Guthrie. Make your plans to be with us here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. Can't make it to the ballpark. That game will be over WCIU. Watch out. Don Russell, third base coach.
Former catcher, showing you that he still has a few reflexes left. Also managed the Pittsburgh Pirates. So now Mark Burley is loosening up Herm Schneider, the trainer. Figures turnabout is fair play.
Just a short lead by Guerrero. And that is hit hard. Count hangs at a ball and 2 strikes.
Very happy fan. One of the great thrills of life. Come to the ballpark and get a baseball, a souvenir. Thrown by a major league pitcher, hit by a major league hitter.
Little high and wide right there, 2-2. He gone. He knew it. 2 down.
Wieters just takes that fastball, and it's a perfect pitch.
9 strikeouts for Sox pitching today. Oriole pitching has 1. They have 6 runs, though. We have 2. Reynolds, he's 1 for 3, that home run, his 3rd of the season. A little bigger lead now by Vlad. Off the end of the bat. Over to Beckham, and that'll retire the side. Go to the bottom of the 8th inning. We got some work to do. Series with Bulls postgame live on csnchicago.com. After every playoff game, get highlights and analysis from the local perspective with Bulls postgame live Monday, right after the Bulls game on csnchicago.com.
Got a couple of defensive changes. Adam Jones comes in the game and stays in center field, and Felix P.A. will shift over from center to play left. And we've got A.J. Przinsky coming on to pinch hit.
Ramon was 0 for 2 with a walk. He popped to first and then almost took it out of here to right field as there's first ball hunting. Andino will pitch 1 out. So here's Tian hitting for Lillbridge, who was 1 for 3 with a homer. Dunn hitting at 282 with a homer and 3 RBIs.
And Johnson can rush it up there. He's got a good fastball. Hovering in the mid-90s. That one 96.
That's low, 1-1. 22,029. Well, it has been a beautiful day in every respect except the score. That 5th inning, they scored 5 times. They have had 3 huge innings: a 5-run 7th in game 1, a 4-run 8th in yesterday's game, and a 5-run 5th here today. That'll get you a lot of canceled checks right there.
Hit by the big inning, and today was not the defense.
PA. And this out number 2.
Johnson is another member of that Oriole organization. He's been around a long time. Selected by the Orioles in the 5th round in 2001. Headed to the major leagues in 06. And then has spent parts of every year since then with the O's.
Here's Beckham. Gordon 2 for 3. Sharp single to right and then a hard double and a run scored. That was last inning. Well, at one time, the Orioles, for about I don't know, 15 to 20 year span, there was not a better organization in baseball than the Orioles.
I believe from 60 to 85, they won more games than any other team in baseball.
They probably beat themselves during that time fewer times than anybody in the game. And as we both know, and we all know, there are more games that are lost than that are won. So the only thing you have to do is what? You have to go out there. You don't make any mental mistakes. You're always going to make physical mistakes, but you don't make any mental mistakes. You just play and play and play. And somewhere in that 9 innings, the other team's probably going to do something. It's going to beat themselves.
And that was the Oriole philosophy taught up through their system, was stay out of the big inning. If you're trying to cut down a guy that's going to win the game, that's one thing, but they wanted you to get the ball into second base. Keep the double play in order. If you had runners at second and third, nobody out, it would come out and tell you that you can give up those 2. We can live with those 2.
And there's ball 4. Well, you can do the math. How many times? Let's take a right fielder. How many times will a right fielder throw out a guy at home plate versus a right fielder will overthrow the cutoff man? The hitter goes to second. It's not even close.
Anytime you allow the trailer to take that extra base and take yourself out of the double play situation, you just open up the door to a big inning.
So here's Adam Dunn. Morrell was 0 for 3, but he hit the ball hard. Prince going through one of those atoms. Hit the ball hard twice. And that's fouled out of play left side. They have the shift on. Roberts in short right field. That's down low. High and deep. Stretch back at the wall. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yeah. A high towering drive by the big man Adam Dunn, and it's a 6-4 ball game. Personal.
First time all year Adams had an opportunity to pinch hit, making the most of it with his 3rd home run. He's now driven in 12. 2 out. 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 2 out Our Ford home run replay. It's a fastball out over the plate. If we can get the big guy heated up, it's going to make a world of difference in this offense.
So here's Pierre. He has 3 walks and a single to his credit today. One hopper right to Reynolds, but the 2-out walk, the 2-run homer by Dunn will go to the 9th. It is 6-4 Baltimore. Live, get analysis from Chuck and Bill, plus go live to Ozzy's post-game remarks. Don't miss Galaxy White Sox post-game live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
A few changes for the Sox, and it's Martin in right field. Omar Vizquel checks in the game at third base. A.J. Przinsky stays in the game behind the plate. And Sergio Santos comes into the game. On for the 10th time. He's got a couple of saves. Has yet to give up a run. And he wants to put him down 1-2-3. Turn it over to the offense as we've crept within 2 of the pesky O's.
Day 2 for 3. A single, a triple, and a run scored. First pitch strike. So 2 good innings from Crane and Ullman. Jesse, 1 inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Ullman, no runs, 1 hit, no walks, 1 strikeout. And that's up high. That ball hit hard to left field. Pierre going back now at the track. One out. And a reminder, stop by the Comcast Fundamentals deck at U.S. Cellular Field for the ultimate game day experience. You can visit the Comcast dugout to see official White Sox equipment, take photos next to life-size player cutouts, and listen to updates about the Sox pitching staff on the Xfinity Voice dugout phone. Brought to you by Comcast.
We're going to probably be looking at Kevin Gregg, who's the closer of these O's.
And Dino looks at first pitch strike.
Rare for this series, and Dino does not have a hit today. He only has one official at bat.
Whoops. And a count 0-2.
Not going to hit that one. Sergio has 3+ major league pitches. That slider just disappears.
That fanny going one way and that going another. He gone. 2 down. Also a reminder, tickets for White Sox home games at U.S. Cellular Field are on sale right now. Tickets start at just $12 per seat. Purchase your tickets by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. So here's a guy that's always been a pain in the behind us, Brian Roberts. Oh, what a good player he is. He's 1 for 3 today. A walk and a run scored. He is 4 for 11 in the series. There's a strike. 4 for 11 in the series with 3 RBIs and 3 runs scored.
And some good defensive work out in the field.
Yeah, he's a good player.
There's a look at Kevin Gregg, a closer for the Blue Jays, the Cubs, and the Marlins.
Well, we're going to have Alexei, Quentin, Canerco, and hopefully Rios, AJ. Maybe that'll take care of them. We trail at 6-4 here, top of the 9th inning.
Gregg has a good splitter, but that fastball has a tendency to ride up.
Three and one. That ball hit hard. Pierre? Yes. Slice right back to him. So he makes a nice running catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Sergio. We go to the bottom of the 9th, trailing by 2. You can browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel and authentic classics. Get your gear from the official source. Shop at whitesox.com.
And the closer comes in. It's Kevin Gregg. 3-point ERA on for the 10th time, looking for his 5th save. Control has been a factor. 5 walks in 9 innings. And if you're patient with him, He'll give you something to hit.
So here's Alexei. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. Alexei 1 for 3 lifetime off of him. Takes ball 1, but we got to get somebody on for Konerko. Paulie is 7 for 11 against Greg lifetime with a homer and a double. And the count 2-0.
Well, with his control, 5 walks in 9 innings, you got to figure that he's going to put somebody on.
There's a strike. Good check. 3-1. And that's ball 4, the dreaded leadoff walk. So here's Quentin. He's 0 for 4. Twice he's popped up. To Roberts a second. Twice he's gone out. To Greg. Check that. To Reynolds at third. Paulie on deck. Breaking ball, yeah.
He doesn't throw too many of those after the first pitch. His wipeout pitch is a splitter. They have a tendency to wind up in the dirt.
One and one to count. Outfield very deep, straight up. And the count 2-1.
Willie Randolph, Jim Presley looking on.
That was a get me over breaking ball, and he got away with it.
Greg got pretty lucky there. Carlos has had a couple of those the last few days and fouled him back.
Hanger.
Well, that one just stayed right there like on a tee.
And there's a base hit to center. Alexei will pull up at second, and here comes Paulie.
Carlos just muscles that fastball into center field. Doesn't get a whole lot of it, but hits it in a perfect spot. And Paulie represents the winning run.
And the fans come to their feet. Paulie is 2 for 3 this afternoon with a walk and an RBI.
And he faced Greg a number of times when Greg was closing for the Cubs.
Seven for 11 against Greg. Takes first pitch strike. Two on, nobody out, trailing 6-4 here in the bottom of the ninth. One and one to count. Good eye. Now advantage goes back to Paulie. Curveball, grabs a strike with it.
I think Paul was looking for just about anything but that. He was thinking about the cutter, the splitter, and he got what looked like a breaking ball in a good spot.
Got him.
Had the plate also. Take another look at it and watch where the 5 appears.
So a big strikeout for Greg, and here is Alex. Rios is 1 for 3 lifetime.
Get one up in the air to left field.
Way outside. Well, Derek Lee is way off the line. So Quentin's got to get himself a good lead in case there is a tweener, even though they're playing straight up and deep in the outfield. There's a strike.
There was a time when Baltimore had a number of signs in situations like this to go behind the runner. I don't think they want to do it in this situation with a fairly young catcher behind the plate.
Well, they were the best I've ever seen them.
Yeah, they had
when Eddie Murray was at first base, that was the best.
Well, Eddie would put on the sign.
That was the best I've ever seen. And the count 2-1. Especially in bunt situations. And the count 3-1 with AJ on deck. No activity. Throwing that breaking ball when he gets behind.
That last one was a good one. Alex looking fastball all the way, and that ball just disappeared.
So 2 on, 1 out, and the payoff pitch. And that's ball. Oh, man.
That pitch missed by a good 4 inches.
Man.
I don't think Alex can believe it. And he just threw him out of the game.
Yeah, because he blows the call.
Now, Corey Blazers had a good day behind the plate. But this was not a good call. Take a look at where the pitch appears. It's a breaking ball. It starts out outside, ends up way outside, and he rings him up on that pitch. Again, with the preface that Blazer's been good, that call was not good.
What a call and what a time. Again, that is symptomatic with being in a funk. You get an umpire to blow a huge call like that. Here's AJ. Curveball strike. Man.
Well, AJ hit his first home run of the season in the opener of the series. It came in the second inning, a 2-run shot. And the outfield way back in a no double set.
And this will do it. Orioles catch a huge break on the blown call by Corey Blazer on Alex Rios as they win it 6-4. Again, you make your own breaks. When you're going bad, you get all the bad breaks.
Well, as it turned out today, Sox paddled back. They gave up a 5 spot in the 5th. Scored 4 runs, had something going here in the 9th inning. Unfortunately, once again, down to defeat for the 3rd straight time to the Orioles.
Well, we lose by 2. They stranded 3. We stranded 11. And let's check out our player of the game. It is the right fielder, Nick Markakis back in the 5th inning. Sacks packed. And this is all he did. He cleared them. Our GMC player of the game. So for my partner, Steve Stone. For our director, Jim Angio. Our producer, Mike Leary. Our associate producer, Chris Kamka. Our technical manager, Mark Harper. The executive producer, Jim Corno Jr. Also for the mayor, Mean Joe Groove. And up here in the booth, Mike Mayer, Frank Leone, Frank the Model. This is a Hawk. So long, everybody.